welcome to CATEX TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Thursday, October 15th, 2015. If you want to follow us on Twitter, go to CATEX TV. And more signals that there is continuing concern over the economic conditions in China. We've got a very telling one coming from Australia. Insurance Australia Group is abandoning its plans to expand in China. This is delighting investors in the company who have expressed misgivings over the strategy. Also, just as importantly, last year, Insurance Australia Group has taken a $500 million investment by Warren Buffett. It's thought that IAG would not have proceeded with the abandonment of its Chinese strategy unless Berkshire was on board with it. IAG said it would instead pursue growth opportunities in other Asian markets, Australia and New Zealand. IAG acknowledged back in August the 60% write-down on the value of its investment in a regional Chinese motor insurer called Bohai Insurance. This came as a bit of an about-face up until as recently as 2 weeks ago. IAG was saying that they were still strongly committed to plans to grow their business in China. But as of this morning now, it's official, they've dropped. Ascot founder and former Chief Executive Officer Martin Reith is back in action as the CEO of the great American-owned Lloyd's managing agent Marketform. He's going to replace John O'Neill, who had been acting as the CEO. John O'Neill had been the head of claims. He's going back to that position when Reith comes on board. Reith brings with him 25 years of experience. His former exploits include the highly successful establishment of Ascot Underwriting Limited with the support and backing of American International Group. He stepped down in 2008. Endurance's reinsurance arm has parted company with his chief underwriting officer and head of global specialty. This would be Peter Mills. According to sources, a memo has been circulated saying that Mills has left the Bermudian reinsurer for, quote, personal reasons and will be pursuing other opportunities. Mills had been based in Switzerland. He joined Endurance in 2013, coming from Tokyo Millennium. This is going to mean a number of management changes at Endurance, including, as far as we can see, Adrian Paxson and Christoph Virchow have been appointed co-heads of global specialty reinsurance. Goldman Sachs has reported a third quarter profit that missed analysts' estimates. It's taken a pretty big drop in its trading value. Net income fell 36% to $1.4 billion from $2.24 billion a year earlier. That fell short of the $3 average estimate of 22 analysts in a Bloomberg survey. It came in at $2.90 a share. That's not that much of a drop, but I guess if you're Goldman Sachs, everybody's watching you. Chief Executive Officer Lloyd Blankfein has resisted pressure for large-scale cuts, maintaining that trading activity will bounce back. His firm's 34% decrease in fixed income trading was larger than the declines of 23% in the same area from JP Morgan Chase and 11% at Bank of America. China's economic growth is expected to slow further to 6.5% in 2016 from an expected 6.8% in 2015. This is even as the central bank eases policy further to ward off sharper slowdowns. In a bid to stoke activity, the central bank has already cut lending rates 5 times since November, down to 4.6%. Of course, this all means that you're believing the numbers that are being put up from the Chinese. As we've talked about several times in the past here, the numbers that come on economic activity in China are opaque and cannot be relied upon. Last night there were news bulletins flashing throughout the United States saying that the U.S. Customs and Border Protection had their computer systems go offline for about 90 minutes at several key airports. These are computer systems used to process international travelers. They check airline passengers against terror watch lists. They're sort of important. Officials said that the systems were down for about 90 minutes. The problem was with processing systems at airports of entry into the United States. This included huge delays at John F. Kennedy Airport in New York, Boston, Logan, Dallas, Fort Worth, and other ports of entry into the U.S. It is not known how the process fared, although officials said that the incoming passengers continued to be checked against the terror list during the disruption. How that was done, we don't know, if the list, which is digitized, was unavailable. That's the news for today, everybody. Breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.